everybody. Monday night, I'm lounging, getting ready for a restorative before bedtime. Tonight, I picked one of the all-time favorites, Stonehenge, a lower version of legs up the wall pose. It's named after those prehistoric rock formations outside of London, England. So I've been thinking all day about what you can find around your house that you can use. If you don't have 2 yoga blocks, a bolster. I was actually thinking today if there was only one prop that I would want to have these days, it might be the bolster, because there's so many restorative things that we can do with it. But if you don't have one, please don't worry, because I've come up with something else tonight. Any kind of blanket to go under your head would work beautifully. You can also use a pillow from your couch, a towel out of your bathroom. So typically at the yoga studio, we would set up 2 blocks. If you're a little taller, you might find that setting up the blocks on their highest height works really well. And they're about as wide, the blocks that is, as your hips are wide. Now, I always jokingly say that no one I know has hips this wide. So you want to sit down like I'm doing, align your knees with your blocks, and on top of that would go your bolster, a blanket behind for your head. Now, let's assume for a moment you don't have these props at home. Not a problem. What I've come up with is a little stool that I got at IKEA. And we use this sometimes at the yoga studio. I use it at home to get things off a high shelf, and a throw blanket from my guest bedroom. So in lieu of the yoga props, you could put your stool, a hassock to a chair would work really well, an ottoman, and put a blanket on top. So I'm going to use this setup tonight. I am going to grab my yoga blanket because I like the support under my head. And you'll want to come and sit with, I'm using my right hip and my right shoulder very close to your setup. Just like legs up the wall from the other night, you start to swing the legs up onto the support. Wiggle around a little bit. Adjust the blanket and turn the palms face up or face down. Oh, it feels good. I almost feel like I could really turn off the video now, but let me give us some more instructions. So this is a pose that is wonderful for the lower back if it's feeling really tight. And even if it isn't feeling tight, this is a wonderful posture in the great adventure of just being, of not having to do anything, but literally lie here and give yourself a well-deserved time out. Once you find your comfortable spot with your shoulders and your hips and your head, start to close the eyes and bring your attention to your breath. And with each exhale, feel as if the stress and the tension of the day is rolling off of you. And whatever restlessness or tension you might be feeling in the legs, as you breathe out, imagine that the legs and that corresponding tension is deflating. Almost the way that a tire on a bicycle deflates. And so if any nagging thoughts, intrusive thoughts come up for you, you don't want to fight them. Instead, almost how you let the water wash off your hair when you're in the shower. Just let the thoughts float by. They're just going to roll right off your back. My first teacher, Anita, used to say that any thought that's really, really, really important will come back to you after this pose. And I find these days that a lot of my thoughts are just chattering monkey mind thoughts. What if this and what if that and what does that mean and how long this? And so lying here, I don't know if it's the elevation of the legs, but there's less interest in those thoughts for me right now. And so we observe the breath, we observe how the legs are being supported by whatever they're on tonight. Try to release the lower jaw away from the upper jaw. You might even just move your jaw from side to side. There's no need for the lower jaw to clench now. See if you can even relax your tongue into the lower palate of your mouth. Soften the skin of the lips. Feel the breath coming in through the nose and exiting through the nose. And feel the bridge of the nose as being light tonight. Light like the beak of a sparrow. When the mind starts thinking, the eyes will often start moving underneath your eyelids. It's always a signal to me that my mind has become active again. So you might try directing the gaze of your eyes downward, as if you were looking toward the center of your chest with your eyes closed. You can stay in Stonehenge for anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. And the effects of this pose can be quite profound. I'd actually like to leave you lying in this tonight. Whenever you decide to come out, be sure to pull your belly button in toward the floor. And it's up to you. You can pick up one lower leg at a time or both simultaneously. Pick the side to roll to and curl up there. And then whatever else the evening has in store for you tonight, I hope that a few minutes in a restorative pose leaves you feeling more peaceful, more grounded, and that you rest well tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Namaste.